Hello students, welcome to today's session. Today we shall be discussing one important topic of P block elements where I shall be taking up the topic of more than one choice questions for IIT Advanced. Some of my students have asked me that how to tackle these questions. So for these questions I would strongly suggest you need to have or you need to develop good amount of physical and mental composure because every option is critical and you have to read it very carefully unlike your single choice question. So here you require physical and mental composure. So here comes the question and we will see how to handle these questions. So it is very interesting topic as we proceed on to this particular session. So what is being asked in this particular question that calcium phosphate is treated with silica produces slag and a compound X which on hydrolysis gives Y and which on heating gives you Z. So what I could see here is that in this particular question what is being you could see a metallurgy got mixed with the topic of hydrolysis and also the effect of heating is being asked. So the things are very interesting in this particular question. I would want you to solve this question by pausing the video and then see into the discussion. So I hope you people have tried this question by pausing the video. Now, what basically is being asked in this question? Calcium phosphate, which we know for sure that this calcium phosphate is available in form of, it is available in many of the rocks or it is also available in bone ash. So if the rock or bone ash is being strongly crushed and heated with silica, so what you end up getting X along with a slag and X on hydrolysis gives Y and on heating gives you Z. This is what is being asked. So now what exactly is to be done in this case that in when you heat calcium phosphate with silica, this will give you calcium silicate which he is referring to as slag, and along with it what you would get here is P4O10. This is very important, P4O10. And if I need to do the balancing, so here the phosphorus are 4, so I would place it 2, so that 2 to the 4 phosphorus I would get and calcium becomes 6. So I will 6 here and silicon now becomes 6. So this is the simple trick to play, that how to do the balancing. So once you did the once you get this compound which is basically X, this is oxide of phosphorus, and this P4O10 when is being hydrolyzed, so this is also very plain and simple, that it is to be when it is going to get hydrolyzed, for which there is a good amount of mechanism available, so you end up getting phosphoric acid. You would get the phosphoric acid. So here also you have 4 phosphorus, so I will place 4 here, so this would hydrogen would become 12, so I would place 6. So 6 water molecules is to be added to form 4 moles of phosphoric acid from P4O10, and this phosphoric acid when is being heated strongly at 350 degrees centigrade, as is being said about it, it loses water and it happens to give you metaphosphoric acid. So this is what you have to do in this particular case. So this is your X and this is your Y and this is your Z. Now the point is that we have identified everything. Now we have to match with the options. Now what options they are going to give us? First they said that X have 8 POP bond. He's not asking us about the phosphoric acid. He's asking he's not asking about P4O10. He's asking about the structure. So that way it is very interesting question that he's asking you something in regard to the bonding. So it is engaging metallurgy, it is regarding hydrolysis, it is engaging uh, your effect of heating along with chemical bonding. So now in this particular case, if I happen to draw its structure, the 4 phosphorus are at the corner of a tetrahedron. So these dotted lines are not actually the bonds. This is, I am showing you the sort of tetrahedron we have generated. So these are present at the corner of a tetrahedron, and these tetrahedrons are joined through POP bonds. So this is what we got here. So this is joined to this one and this also is joined to this one, and similarly this one also got joined. So what you have at present, I have drawn P4O6. Now you wanted to make a 10, so you just place 4 oxygen more onto it. So this becomes P4O10. So this happens to get you P4O10. Now how many POP bonds it would have? So we will place, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4, and 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 POP bonds, and that is why 6 water molecules are required for the hydrolysis. And you can make a mechanism out of it here, that if you hydrolyze it like this lone pair happens to attack this one, this goes open. So if I draw the mechanistic viewpoint here, so this P which I am referring to as with a green marker, this green marker, if I am referring to it with green marker, so this P now would become negative. Here you would get OH, and this would become positive, and it is attached here with oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Now this you have to do it yourself. This comes here, this opens up. So the bond got opened up, and one of the H positive from here attaches with this oxygen. So the oxygen which here would get negative, this becomes double bond. Here comes the OH. On this side it is attached with this one, and the H which is present at this point of time here, this H positive attaches with it. So this is the way this keep on opening up, and you end up getting the phosphoric acid. So you can try it yourself. So X can be reduced with coke. Now this also is a very important question, that P4O10, now here it has engaged the metallurgy. So if you treat it with carbon to form P4, elemental phosphorus can be generated, and here you would get carbon monoxide. So you just take 10 carbon, so this is coke. If coke is being heated with P4O10, you end up getting elemental phosphorus. So this option is correct. And what about this? Here they have said 8 POP bonds, so this is wrong, this is wrong. And what is the next option? Z is a oxy acid which may undergo trimerization. Beautiful. So here he is again not asking us that what is being formed. Now he is checking our knowledge, that is metaphosphoric acid is going to undergo trimerization or not. So this you should know, that metaphosphoric acid, HPO, this is metaphosphoric acid which can undergo trimerization like this. So if I draw it like this, so sorry, if I draw it like this, you would get the metamer out of it. So you would get somewhat like this. So this is what you call it as trimer of metaphosphoric acid. So what is this trimer? So you can refer this as to be this one molecule, this is the second, and this is the third one. So it got underwent trimerization. So if you have taken 3 moles, and it has the tendency to undergo trimerization. So here in other way it can be asked that what is the want of factor of this metaphosphoric acid. So the want of factor could be said as 1/3, just like carboxylic acid. We said for acetic acid it undergoes dimerization. We used to say it undergoes dimerization, for which the want of factor is half. So for metaphosphoric acid, if it undergoes trimerization or association, would give you a trimer. So this in a way is a right statement. So next one is, Y can make 3 salt series. So what was Y? Y we have developed as phosphoric acid. This is phosphoric acid, and this is quite easy. Phosphoric acid can give you 3 salt series when treated with caustic potash. Perfectly right, because this is basically phosphoric acid, orthophosphoric acid. It has 3 ionizable H positive ions, so it can react with 1 mole of OH negative, or even 2 moles of OH negative, or even with 3 moles of OH negative. So depending upon that, it can create a salt of type this. It can create a salt of this OH negative, taken out 1 H positive, and resulting in the formation of water along with this. Or it can generate this sort of a salt where 2 water molecules are being produced. Or it can also generate this salt where 3 moles of water can be produced. So this is with this, this is with this. So it can make 3 salt series. So this statement in itself is also correct. So what exactly do we get as an answer? So answer to this question had been Z-oxy acid may undergo trimerization. This is perfectly right. This statement is right. It is having no, this is wrong. POP bonds are 6. It can 3 salt series. X can be reduced by coke to form elemental phosphorus is correct one. So more than one choice. If it had been single choice question, then the answer would have been B. Otherwise, in this case, it would be A, C, D. So beautiful question to tackle with. So here comes the next question, which again is a very interesting one. I would want you to pause the video and try to solve this out once again. So I hope you people have tried this question. So it is again a beautiful question that ammonium nitrate is first heated with to produce. Now here the beautiful thing is everything A, B, D, three compounds in this are gases. And for those gases, they are asking the physical property, colorless, pungent, or something sweetish, or something like that. So he is referring to the physical property of a gas. So we need to identify what are the gases. First, let us check what are the things which is being formed. Ammonium nitrate when heated, here I have many times in other videos also have spoken about that anywhere when you have ammonium salt with some oxidizing anion is the one in which the central element has a high oxidation state. Just like nitrate, the nitrogen's maximum oxidation state is +5. It would always want to go to down oxidation state. So any ammonium salt when is being heated with a ammonium salt is present with some oxidizing anion. So tip to remember is that on heating, whatever ammonium part is having whatever number of hydrogens, they will come out as water. So you have 4 hydrogen atoms here, so the 2 water would come out, and what you are left with is N2O. So this is what you call it as nitrous oxide, or very popularly called it as, this particular gas is called as laughing gas. This also is called as laughing gas. Now as regard to this in a way is a colorless gas with a sweetish, with a faint sweetish odor, and it tend to give you a hysterical laughter. So if inhaled for longer duration of time, you will die while laughing. So now this again is being treated with, now what is being asked, this gas is being treated with P4. So you have N2O which is being treated with P4. This also is a very interesting thing. Now here the nitrogen's oxidation state is, as a matter of fact, is +1. So if you heat this with P4, you end up getting P4O10. Basically what you have done, this 0 goes to +5. So the phosphorus has been oxidized, and when phosphorus has been oxidized, this produces nitrogen gas. So this is also very interesting. So in a way, I may say here this nitrous oxide is acting as a oxidizing agent, and this is acting as a reducing agent. Now to do the balancing, it is quite easy. So you have to place 10 here so that you can get 10 oxygens, and here also you would get how many? So you would get 10 here. So I think it is being balanced also. Now the point is, this nitrogen gas which we have generated is a colorless, odorless gas. It's a colorless, odorless gas. It is having no such smell, and it is non-toxic also. And if you refer to as from your NCERT point of view, it is having low solubility in water also. This is out of the way. I'm telling you low solubility in water, because this is, because anything which is written in NCERT is to be read very carefully. 23.1 ml per liter of water, it can be solubilized to such an extent near to STP. So it's having a low solubility. Now what exactly next thing they have asked is, nitrogen gas is then treated with calcium carbide. This also is a very interesting viewpoint. So nitrogen is being treated with calcium carbide along with heating. So this also is a very important viewpoint here, that you end up getting here calcium cinamide along with carbon. So this in a way is also called as nitrolium. And for this particular reaction, in one of my videos on the nitrogen, for which you can see the link, and the mechanism is also being discussed about. And once this nitrolium or calcium cinamide is being formed, they are saying it is to be treated with what? It is to be hydrolyzed with water along with heating. So if you hydrolyze this with water, what you end up getting here is calcium carbide along with ammonia. So this is what you end up getting here. So this is the simple thing. So now what exactly you have to remember here in this case is ammonia. Ammonia is in a way is a is again a colorless gas, but is having a pungent smell. It is having a pungent smell and it will bring tears to eye because it is irritating. It is irritating and it is quite soluble in water, also soluble in water, unlike your, because it's polar, unlike nitrogen gas which is having a very low solubility. Now let us check what exactly is to be asked in this, what is the things they have asked. So let me place it here. This this a gas which we happen to get is N2O. B, the gas B is N2, and this is calcium cinnamide, and D option is your ammonia. Now let us do it very patiently, carefully. Gas B is colorless with repulsive odor. This is a colorless gas, no doubt about it. It is not repulsive because 78% of your atmosphere is containing nitrogen gas. So this is wrong statement. So gas D is colorless with a pungent smell. Yes, this is colorless and is having a pungent smell. Calcium compound C is calcium cinnamide. This is perfectly right. And gas A is colorless gas with a faint sweetish odor. So yes, it also is correct. So had it been single choice question, then the answer would have been A, if in case they have asked us the incorrect statement, but here it is more than one choice for which you have to answer the correct statement. So the answer happens to come out to be B, C, and D. So moving on to the next question, which again is very important. So, and for these two reaction, if you want to see the mechanism, you could refer to one of my video on to the topic of nitrogen gas where I have explained about it. And if you want, I can do it in a speedy way. Calcium carbide happens to, now this is an intuitive approach. Probably this reaction might have happened this way. So this carbide happens to react with nitrogen, which again is non-polar. So this can attack here, this can go here. So what basically you would get here is something like this. You end up getting N negative and you also have a negative here. So if I do it fastly here, this goes here, this goes here. So what I do get here is something like this. This would nitrogen, and here the nitrogen would get a 2 negative charge. And this negative charge is because if I moved this one this side, so this has become neutral. Did you get my point? And now if I would place it here and bring it here, so what I shall be getting here, this carbon would get a positive charge, this one, and along with here you would get a triple bond and this would become N3 negative. This might have happened, and now what you can do is attack this one and this will go out, because this would take this electron, cross electron of central carbon, and this would become neutral. So this is carbon, along with what you get is N2 negative, single bond, then nitrogen, and this can come here, and ultimately you happen to get N negative, double bond C, N negative. So this is what you have got cinnamide. So cinnamide is having a this type of a anion along with the calcium. So it is being endorsed with calcium 2 positive. So this is the small mechanism. For the other mechanism, the hydrolysis of cinnamide, this also is very interesting. If you want, so this nitrogen negative, carbon negative, so you just place two water molecules into it. So if I take two water molecules, this 2H positive get joined to this. So this would become NCNH. Now what along with it, you would get two OH negative. These two OH negative attacks here, this moves here. And if the second one also attacks here, this goes here. So what basically you end up getting, I'm doing it in a little speedy way. You can refer to that video which I'm asking you. So you would get OH and here also OH, and this would become negative, negative. Now what exactly do we get here is this H positive goes here and this H positive goes here, and you can bring it down and these two goes out. These two goes out and you happen to get a carbon dioxide along with 2NH2 negative. And now if you place two water molecules into it or one water molecule into it, so it will snatch out these two H positive. This also goes to this also goes to S, and you end up getting two O2 negative, which happens to attack it, and you happen to get a carbonate ion along with 2 moles of ammonia. So this I have done it very hurriedly, and these are sort of intuitive way of explaining things so that you can remember this for a longer duration of time. So as such, many of the inorganic books would not give you mechanistic viewpoint for most of the reaction, but I have a habit of developing such way so that you could feel comfortable with, or the retention towards particular topic of inorganic get enhanced if you have some mechanism along with it. So this again a very important question. I would say this is again a very important question, where what is being asked, phosphorus is being treated with A and SO2 gas is being produced along with B and sulfur containing compound, and this B on hydrolysis gives C, and the C, this reaction I would say is the most trickiest of all. This C reacts with PCl5 to give you B back. This is very interesting. So as if you have done this is again some many of these reactions are typically taken from the NCERT and are asked in such a way that it becomes very confusing. So what basically we are going to do is P4 is to be treated in such a way that it can produce SO2 along with this B and sulfur containing compound. So basically if you treat it with, because what the options are given, so first option is sulfuryl chloride and this is thionyl chloride. So all of these options are having these two compounds, so you have to figure it out which out of this we should take. So if I take SO2Cl, that is thionyl chloride, so you end up getting PCl3 here, and PCl3 along with S2Cl2. This is a very popular reaction where and vice versa, if I take P4 with sulfuryl chloride, here what you have, this is typical topic of NCERT where this has been endorsed with. So this would give you PCl5. So how many phosphorus you have? 4. So I will place 4 here, and now the chlorine has become 20, so I would take 10 and this would become 10. So this got balanced, but this is not providing you any sulfur containing compound. And here if I place it as 8 and this would become 4, and how many phosphorus? 4, and this would become 2 because sulfur are 8, 4 sulfur came here and 4 here. So this is very important question to address with. So now the point is that in this particular question what basically we are being said about that, this is the tip to remember, sulfur containing compound would be produced if phosphorus is treated with thionyl chloride. So this is thionyl chloride, and if it is being treated with sulfuryl chloride, then you would not be getting that sulfur containing compound. So in our case what basically we end up here, so this is our B, this is compound B, and B is to be hydrolyzed then. So that is very easy. If you have a B as PCl3 and this is to be hydrolyzed, so what shall I be getting? I shall be getting phosphorus acid along with 3 moles of HCl. So this is what you would get, and for this also you can develop a mechanism where oxygen's lone pair attacks the phosphorus and displaces out the chlorine. So now once you have got this, and then we will develop the mechanism if in case we want that, and this is C we get. Now the interesting question which would come here is that C is being then treated with PCl5 and heated. Now what is C? This is H3PO3 which is being treated with PCl5, and what you get along with it, he's saying that you would get the B back. What is B? B had been your PCl3. So what basically we are saying here is that our B had been PCl3, and he is saying along with it you would get HCl. Just see here, you would get HCl along with oxychloride. So which oxychloride you would end up getting here is that is of POCl3, and along with it you also are getting HCl. Now this is very interesting question, very interesting question. Now let us figure it out that how could we balance it. So if I place it 3 here, so I shall be getting 3 here and this 3. So I think by simply doing this way it got balanced. So chlorine are 15 here, 9 and 3 12 and 3 15, so it got balanced. Now this is very interesting. Now, if in case you would want the sort of mechanism for this sort of reaction, how it has happened, and what are the things, you can develop it yourself. So if in case I take the phosphorus acid is somewhat like this. It is a molecule of this type, and you are being treated PCl 5. PCl5 is trigonal planar type of a molecule. Now, if I would place, this is for just for your ease, that this way you can introspect the things and would take the logic that way. So this goes like this, and what we shall be thinking of getting here, you would get a negative charge OH and H, and this got bonded here. So it got bonded with what? It got bonded with Cl, and the Cl negative got attacked here, and along with it you would get PCl4 positive. This is what you happen to get it here. Now what exactly next would be that this would come back and this OH negative would have attacked this one. So what basically I would get from here? From here I would get P double bond O Cl OH, and here you would get H. There are 5 bonds around the phosphorus. It is perfectly okay. And here what you would be getting? Here you would be getting, because this would become OH, and you have Cl, Cl, Cl and Cl, because there are 3 Cl and it is having a positive charge. Since OH negative has attacked it, so the positive charge on phosphorus get neutralized. Now see what interesting thing you can get here. This can go here and this will throw out Cl out. So what you would get here is, this is POCl3 you have made, and along with it the Cl negative has abstracted out this H positive. So along with it you would also get the HCl. Now similarly, another mole of PCl3, another mole of PCl4 rather would again attack it. This would go again this way, and from here, now this you can do it yourself also. So you get negative charge, and here you have OH, you got attacked with Cl, and Cl and H. Again you have 5 bonds, and along with this you get PCl4 positive. Now what next I could do here is, again I will throw this OH negative out to this place, and this will turn into POCl3 and HCl goes out. And lastly, from this side what I would get here is P double bond O and Cl H Cl. Again you have 5 bonds, and this part would become the similarly the same part. This got attacked, so this goes here, this goes out, and you would get POCl3 along with HCl. Now this is what, now again if I take the PCl3 once again, or PCl5 once again, so it would attack the Cl negative this way, this would move, and lastly what I would get, now here you have to do a little uh, permutation combination type of a thing to get the answer right. So you got attached with another Cl. So now what I can think of, that this H positive sort of gone to, and this one has gone to PCl4 positive. Now this I will rearrange this way. So if I would rearrange this way, this part, this would become PCl3 along with OH, and this would become negative. And now what I can say, this OH would attack here, and this again would change into POCl3 and HCl, and this would become PCl3. So this way you can think of the things. This particular reaction was quite important. And the other important part which you should focus on this is what basically we have done. So this is H3PO3, you treated with 3PCl5, you happen to get what? You got PCl3 and POCl3, 3 moles, and HCl. Now here in this question, this is one very important thing which you can think of, whether it is a redox or non-redox. Now this also is a very interesting viewpoint in this particular question. So here the phosphorus is in +3 and this is in +5. This is in +3 and this is in +5. So now if you simply would see that this phosphorus of the one reactant which is in +3, has it gone to this one? No, this has not gone to this one. And has this has gone to this one? No. If it had gone this way, then this would have been a redox reaction, but actually it has not happened that way. So as per the stoichiometry, one phosphorus which is in +3 and the three phosphorus which is in +5, the one phosphorus which is in +3 happens to go to +3 only, and we have proved it also that this phosphorus which is having three OH groups or whatever OH groups it is having, that all got displaced by Cl. So the oxidation state has never been changed, and this phosphorus which was in +5 oxidation state, and these three phosphorus are still in that +5 oxidation state. So this in a way is a very, very important viewpoint, that this is a non-redox reaction, where basically a swapping of chloride and OH negative is happening some way with the heating. So this is again a very important question. So I think we have already solved this particular question. So now we have to figure it out what exactly had been the answer. So if I would say, we have said A is SOCl2 thionyl chloride, B is PCl3, and C is your C is your H3 PO3. So this is what we are looking for. So A is thionyl chloride. Which option is having thionyl chloride? This is thionyl chloride. And PCl3 is B option, and this is, so I think this is a single choice question. So if they would have asked that ABC, which is respectively the correct one, so in this particular question the answer would be D option. So the answer is D. I think we are perfectly right. So going for the next question, what exactly is the next question? Let me see into it. Oh, that's great, that's great, that's great. So this again could be asked as a wow problem in some other context. Say, if say for example we have not gone through the above question, they would have asked this question in terms of, so what basically they have given you a bit of information that B is oxyacid. So if B is oxyacid, and oxyacid, uh, I think they have wrongly written here, it should be C. C would be a yes, C would be oxyacid. So this is digitization mistake here happened. So I should say this, the tip they have given is C is a oxyacid. So C, if it is have a oxyacid, so either it would be phosphorus acid or phosphoric acid. So although we have already solved this question, so we need to just figure it out that which out of this is redox and non-redox. Let me go back to the same problem. So this was already a non-redox. Is there any option available for us? This is non-redox. I will say this is non-redox. And hydrolysis of PCl3 is also non-redox. And we simply have to see the first option now. That phosphorus going to treated with thionyl chloride, is it redox or non-redox? So it is perfectly redox, because here the phosphorus is in 0 and here it has gone to +3. Now we have to figure it out that who has underwent reduction. So here the sulfur is in +2, sorry, +4. Sulfur is in +4. Out of 8 sulfur, there are 8 sulfur of +4. And what is the fate of those sulfurs? So 4 sulfur goes to +4. And what about this one? So here this is the structure. So this sulfur, from this bond it is 0, this bond it is 0, and from chlorine side it is +1, this also is +1. So it is in +1. So basically there are, so this has phosphorus underwent oxidation, and sulfur, out of the 8 sulfur, 4 sulfur underwent the reduction. So this again is a very important question in terms of N factor also. So I think the A option, we will say the A is a redox reaction. Let us check the options now carefully. We need to be little patient while solving. So here is a correction which I just have marked. Here it should be C. C is your oxyacid. Okay, reaction 1 is a redox. This is perfectly right. Reaction 2 and 3 are non-redox. This has been redox. Yes, this also statement is correct. Only reaction 2 is non-redox. Reaction 2 is although non-redox, but only word is written, so it is wrong. All reactions are redox. No, this also is incorrect. So answer to this question would be A and B. So I hope you have enjoyed today's session. So here what my endeavor was to just place few questions related to inorganic chemistry, and that too with more than one choice, so that those who are preparing for IIT Advanced for this year, would feel little strengthened with. I hope you like this session of mine, and if in case you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, do subscribe so that you could get the latest notification at the earliest. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Take care and stay safe and take good care of yourself and your family. Bye bye. See you.